You are now listening to the Girl Organize That Life podcast. Coach L3.
Hi, welcome to the Girl Organize That Life podcast, where I am your host, Latimore-Lorfils, affectionately known as Coach L3. As a mother of 12, who has also served as a senior military officer for nearly 3 decades alongside my husband, I can certainly understand and appreciate who I call the 3C sisters: crazy, chaos, and confusion. If you are an executive level mom, mompreneur, or lady leader who perhaps still struggles with burnout, you have come to the right place where you can receive strategies and tips on how to pivot with poise and conquer the noise. I invite you to take this journey with us to increase your clarity, your confidence, and to conquer the overwhelm. Hope to see you there.
Coach L3.
Welcome to season 3, Girl Organize That Life podcast. If this is your first time tuning in, girl, you are in for something special, okay? If you've been rocking with me, then you know this is a space where faith meets structure, strategy meets soul, and we don't just organize our lives, we organize our legacy. And of course, I am your host, Coach L3, Latimore-Lorfils, and it's always such a pleasure to come with you each week with some strategies and some tools and some things that's just going to edify your life as a busy, high-achieving woman. Today's episode is a game changer. Okay, it's a game changer. Here's why. Because we're talking about something special, and I know many of you wrestle with, I feel like you do, and that is monetizing your brilliance. Sitting at monetizing your brilliance, turning your ideas into income. Who wouldn't want to do that? And recognizing that what you're waiting for is already in your hands. You already have it with you, but just got to uncover that. So this episode is called From Idea to Income, and we're talking about how to monetize what's in your hand. And believe me, it's not just catchy, it's clarifying. Okay. So we're just going to go ahead and dive right in. We're going to get right into it. And we want you to walk away with tools and things that's going to help you to take what's in your head, what's in your hands, what's in your heart, and monetize it so that you can continue to bless the lives of the others that you serve. Okay. And the thing is, here's the thing. We talk about monetizing. We talk about how do we do that. Let's be honest. Most high-achieving women that I coach, most high-achieving women that I speak with, most high-achieving women that I serve, they're not lacking ideas, because we tend to be full of ideas. We tend to be full of flow. We tend to dream about things at night. Most of the times, what we lack is permission, right? Permission to start, permission to charge. Because we have this thing like, oh, I don't want to charge the amount. We want to break through that, because what you have is valuable. And sometimes it's not just the permission that you need, but sometimes it's the positioning that you need to be in to be able to do the thing. And then we lack permission to trust what's already inside of us. All right. And the reason why I say we and us is because I was that person. I had all these grandiose ideas. I was that person where people will come to all the time about a plethora of things. And once the light bulb went off, I'm like, wait, I really am giving value here. How can I also make that work for me and my family and my own legacy while I'm in the position to continue to serve? Because I've always had a servant's heart. I've always wanted to give the best of me. But here's what I want you to hear today. Listen to me, and I want you to lean in on this part. You do not need to wait until it's perfect, okay? You don't need to wait until it's perfect. You need to start while it's powerful. Did you hear me? Done beats perfect. And what makes it powerful is that it's yours.
It's yours and it's yours alone, which makes it unique, which makes it special, which makes it one of a kind. Only you can do what you do. And I've said this before in other places and spaces. You have to stop looking to the right and to the left and comparing yourself to what Susie is doing or what Joni is doing. And you have to say, what am I doing? How do I serve? What do I have to offer? And believe me, ladies, it's plenty. But you have to know that. And here's the thing that I need you to understand. Your lived experiences, your story, your natural gifts, your expertise, those are not accidental. Hear me. All of that I just named, those are assignments in disguise, right? God is not asking you to go find something. He's asking you, what's in your hand? What are you carrying? What have you been carrying all of these years? You know, it's that thing that burns inside of you. It's that thing that keeps you up. It's that thing that ignites you when you think about it. What is that thing? Just like when he asked Moses, it wasn't about the staff. It was about trust. It was about using what he already had to achieve and activate the purpose. Are y'all hearing me? What I'm telling you? So I'm asking you today, ladies, what is in your hand? And more importantly, what are you doing with it? What are you doing with it? Right? Okay, so we're gonna get real for a moment because y'all know that's what we do. That's what we do here at this podcast. That's what we do at this company. We like to keep it real, authentic, and raw. Why do we sit on our ideas for months? Why do we sit on our ideas even years? Something that you know has been inside of you all this time. Well, here's what I'm going to venture to say. It's because of three things. The first thing is fear. It's fear. It's your fear of like, what if I fail? What if it doesn't work? And we know that God does not give us the spirit of fear, but he gives us the spirit of power and of sound mind. That means whatever he has designed that's in you, it's already there. It's up to you to activate it. It's up to you to capture it, and then it's up to you to activate it. It's up to you to discover it, and it's up to you to activate it. And that's usually where we run into challenges. That's usually where we have the hindrance and the obstacles. And that's usually where fear creeps up, because it's like, well, I know I have this thing, but do I have this thing? And what is this thing? And could it help other people? Well, think about it. Whatever that is, you've already been doing it. You've already been doing it. It's just you didn't know. It was like packaged in this gift of friendship, or it's packaged in this gift of mentoring, right? But that may be, in fact, that gift is also made and it's made to be monetized. And I also feel like, and I'm going to get to the second thing, but I also feel like there's this underlying current that's like, well, I can't monetize that. It's my gift. Who told you you can't? Who told you you can't? And that is what this episode is talking about today. The second thing that keeps you from saying what your ideas are and getting them out there is perfectionism. What if it's not ready yet? What if all the T's aren't crossed and I's aren't all dotted? Let me tell y'all, before this podcast, for example, so glad you asked about my experience, because I'm going to tell it to y'all. You should know. Before this podcast was launched, it was in me years prior. It was in me long time ago, but I kept saying, well, I have to have this perfect, and I have to have the intro, and I have to have the outro. And all I had to do was to have my mouth and my will to share. And boom. And all the other niceties, because that's what they are sometimes. I call them niceties because the niceties do not have to be showstoppers. They're not showstoppers. You are the showstopper. And again, I always say, when you're not showing up in your gifts, when you're not showing up in your talents, when you're not using what's already inside of you, you have to ask yourself, who am I not blessing? Who am I leaving behind? Who is still suffering in silence because I have not been, oh my goodness, I have not been obedient to what it is I know I'm supposed to be doing. Hello? Done beats perfect, ladies. And then the third thing is, like I said, mentioned a few moments ago, that comparison. Well, she's already doing that. And maybe she is already doing that. But you need to be doing the that. You need to be doing the this and that. And only you can do the thing. So those three things: fear, false evidence appearing real. How many of you have heard of that? Because most of the time, the fear are the stories that you have in your head, the stories that you've told yourself that are untrue, but you've bought into them. So guess what? It keeps you paralyzed. Perfectionism. It has to be perfect. Listen, there are no perfect beings on this earth. Only one walked this earth. There are no perfect beings. So if you're not a perfect being, your products will never be perfect. Your podcast will never be perfect. Anything you do will never be perfect. And it would never be perfect, quote unquote, in your eyes, because we all know that we are our own worst critic, right? But guess what? The idea, the service, the product that you have is going to be perfect for someone else that needs what you are sitting on and what you've been sitting on. So stop that. And then last but not least, that comparison. Well, she's already doing it, or she does it so eloquently. Well, so do you. You do it in your way, and you do it eloquent in your way, because your way is the way for that client that you are called to serve. Why am I emphasizing that? Because we are not here to be served. We are not here to serve everyone. If we try to serve everyone, we won't serve anyone. So your idea, your gift, your talent, that thing that you've been sitting on, it's not perfect, but it's perfect for that client who's waiting for you. So let's stop comparing who's doing what. The only thing you need to be comparing, you need to have something. I have a shirt that says me versus me versus myself. That's it. That's all the comparison I need to be doing. And I just have to trust that God gave me some powerful things that's going to edify the masses, right? Let me offer you a shift. Let me offer you a shift today after those three things. You don't need to be the first. You just need to be the faithful. You don't need to be the first to do. Because 9 times out of 10, whatever it is that you're thinking about doing, somebody else has done it. You are absolutely right. But you need to be the faithful. You need to be the one that says, I'm going to show up anyway. I'm going to teach the masterclass anyway, even if I have one client in the room. Because sometimes it's that one client that said, oh my gosh, I so needed that. And ask me how I know. Why? Because I've been in the room where I've only had one client. And guess what? That client subscribed to what I was offering. They became a paying client. Huh? So I hope that helps somebody. Number 2, you don't need to be the loudest. You just need to be clear. If people are clear about what you're offering and they're clear on who you're talking to, folks are going to come running to you. And the thing is, you got to be prepared to receive them. And clarity doesn't come from thinking. Clarity comes from doing. Clarity comes from testing. Clarity comes from taking it one step and letting God meet you in motion. That's where clarity comes from. If you continue to sit in your corner and you're thinking about, okay, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do this, I got to do that, you won't move. And because you won't move, you won't ever be clear. These big giants out here, as I will call them, like I don't know, the Elon Musks of the world. You know, we know that he has the electric car. He didn't just do that by thinking about it. He thought about it, and then he made a plan, and then he executed the plan that got him here today. Or we could talk about our artists in the music industry. You know, Master P, he is brilliant. Had a chance to listen to him at a conference live in the flesh. That man is brilliant. And he'll be the one to tell you, you can't just sit and not act. These things are not going to come to fruition just thinking about it. And you're not going to be clear until you get out here and test it. And understand when you do get out here and test it, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to figure out what works. You're going to know what doesn't work. You're going to know what lands with your clients or your future clients. Then you become even clearer on your messaging, on who you're talking to, and what it is that you need to be giving to the masses. So clearing isn't going to come from just thinking, it's going to come from doing. Also, I want you to think about 3 ways. I'm going to give you 3 ways that you can monetize what's already in your hand. Would y'all like the 3 ways? Yeah? All right, so let's get practical because you know me, I don't do fluff. I don't do fluff. I like to keep it simple. Keep it succinct and keep it simple, right? What's that KISS principle? Keep it simple, Sandy. Right? The first thing is you're going to teach what you know. Teach what you know. Right? You don't need to be an expert on everything. Just an expert on your experience. No one is an expert on your experience but you. So what is it that people always come to you for? What advice? What help? What encouragement? What clarity do they always come to you for? A lot of people come to me because I call it the $1 million question. Oh my God, how do you do it? How do you do it with 12 kids while serving in the military with your husband? How do you do all the things? How do you find the time? And oh, by the way, you still look healthy and sane. I get that all the time. I got that all the time. And hence, Girl Organized That Life was born because now I teach what I know. I am an expert in that. And then not only can you teach, you can turn that knowledge that you have, turn it into a mini masterclass, a virtual session. You can even turn it into a downloadable guide. These are things that you can do. And this, you have to think multidimensional because that's what this is. Though it's a simple concept, because again, we want to keep the KISS principle, keep it simple, Sandy. You still want to think multidimensional. So you have the masterclass, you have a virtual session, a downloadable guide. And they're here. You don't have to create a full-blown course to start making money. No, you do not. No, you do not. This is one of those situations where you can build a plane while flying it. Did you know that? Let's say, for example, you may have a course that you might want to build. Well, as you're putting together a simple masterclass on 3 things to monetize your ideas, you can now expand on that. You can expound on each idea that you give. Is this making sense? Right? So start with a 60-minute workshop, for example. Package your process. Walk someone through a transformation. They don't need all the answers. They just need the next answer. Because you have people that are having a specific pain point and they're just like, how do I get to the next step? What is the next answer? And you could be that next answer. You already have it. You already have it. The next thing I want to say to you all, serve in small rooms first. Sometimes, and usually it comes from the comparison, right? Because you're like, oh, I see my coach doing that. Or, oh, I see her. Wow, that was amazing. Well, I want to do that. But I don't have 10,000 followers and I don't have, it's okay. Start with the 3 that you have. Start posting. Get on live sometimes. Give them what's in your hand already. And guess what? They're going to say, hey, she was so good. Friend, you got to come and listen to this girl that goes on live. It seems like from what I can tell, she goes like every Monday around 7 or 8 o'clock in the evening. I'm telling you, I am so there because every time she gets on here, she gives me something that I can take away with me. Did y'all hear that? So serve in small rooms first. Before you think you need the 10K followers, or if you can't launch until you have a brand, hello. Remember, big impact starts in small rooms. Big impact start in small rooms. I'm going to use one of my coaches as an example. Her name is Ashley Nicole Kirkwood, and she is the CEO and founder of Speak Your Way to Cash, where she helps clients to land 5- and 6-figure contracts by way of speaking. And she also helps you to land multi-figured corporate contracts. She is brilliant. But let me give you a little backdrop of her story. This brilliant woman left a $300,000 a year paying job to start Speak Your Way to Cash. And of course, her husband was like, he wasn't on board initially. She had to really like show him and say, hey, I really know, I believe this can work. And the first thing it started with her was her mindset. And she even talked to you deeply about mindset. It was her belief system. She believed that what she had was so incredibly valuable that she had to quit her job so then she could lean in and put herself all the way into her business. Now, I'm not saying go quit your job. Ashley had a plan and she had a strategy in how she did that. And if you ever come to one of her events, yes, I am patronizing her because she is amazing. But if you ever come to one of her events, she'll give you all of the backdrop and she'll tell you how she did it. But what I'm saying, what the example that I want to use is she said at her first event, she had like 10 people and she made maybe $800. Imagine if she had said, oh, I only had 10 people and I only made $800. I'm just going to quit here. She would not have built, which is now a multi-million-dollar empire that is going to go way. The girl is on fire. But because of her belief system, and that she knew she didn't have to compare herself to anyone, she didn't allow any fear to stop her, and she knew that it didn't have to be perfect, those 3 things that typically hold us back and keeps us sitting on the idea, she is now serving hundreds and hundreds of women, hundreds and hundreds of Black women specifically, to help them to get into the 1%. Because many of us think that it's unattainable. Many of us think that it's unreachable. But this woman, this coach of mine, I'm so extremely proud of, has shown us the blueprint on how to do it. But imagine if she sat on the fact that she only had 10 people at her first event, that she only made less than $1,000. What if she didn't continue? She would not be where she is today, and I would not have met her, and she wouldn't have never become my coach, and I might not be where I am now because I attribute a huge part of my success to her. So I'm saying to you all, and I'm passionate about it because I want you to believe that what you have is already in you. What you need is already in you. You don't need the secret sauce. You are the secret sauce. And it's up to you to give yourself permission to start. Okay, that's what you need. So serve in the small rooms first. The 1 to 2 to 3, 10 people will begin to help you to blast out the impact that you can have on masses only if you believe. Only if you believe. I started with intimate calls. I started with DMs. I started with beta clients. I started with building relationships. I started with testing the ideas. I started with letting the feedback shape my offer, right? Those small spaces prepared me for larger stages, for deeper impact, and for consistent income. So stop waiting for a crowd. You are the crowd. You are the crowd. Serve one, and God will handle the rest. Next thing I want to tell you, and I know that this is a juicy episode. I told you it was going to be a game changer. Now, next thing I wanted you to do, bundle your brilliance. Bundle your brilliance. I guarantee you've got gold sitting in your Google Drive. Yes, you do. Go back to that Google Drive from years ago. You have templates, you have PDFs, you have coaching notes, you have voice memos, you have trainings, you have Word documents, you have ideas and things that you've kind of just was putting together all this time, but you didn't do anything with it. You've been sitting on it. Go back to that Google Drive. G for Google, G for gold. It's there. So I want you to go back to that drive, organize them, organize those ideas and things, polish them, package them, right? Guess what? That's a digital product that is waiting to bless someone and bring you passive income. I'm telling you, and I'm not telling y'all what I heard, telling you what I know. I'm telling you what I have lived and still living even today. I am transitioning after almost 3 decades out of the Army into what I love to do, coaching. And to share some statistics, 51% of those who leave the military, they struggle with their identity, they struggle with who they are, they struggle with what's next. So every other person, roughly. I am fortunate that I am in the 49%. I know what I'm doing. I know what I want to do. I'm getting after it and I'm here for it. Because I've explored layers of me the whole time. And I've started leaning in and I'm like, wait, I could be doing XYZ. Okay. Remember, information becomes income when it's structured, when it's priced, and when it's offered with clarity. Remember, I told you clarity doesn't come from just thinking. Clarity comes from doing. So let's get out here and start doing it. Another thing I want to talk to y'all about, this is for the women who's still doubting. This is for the women who's still doubting. I want you to pause here and talk to the woman who's still whispering. But would they really pay for that? Let me speak this into your spirit. God didn't give you wisdom. God didn't give you experience and fire just to inspire. He gave it to you to impact. And sometimes that impact is paid. Hello? Who doesn't want to have paid impact? Who's here for it? Now, charging for your gifts. Let me I want y'all to lean in on this part. Charging for your gifts doesn't make you greedy. Charging for your gifts doesn't make you greedy. One last time for good measure. Charging for your gifts doesn't make you greedy. It makes you a good steward. It makes you a good steward. You are allowed to be a woman of faith and a woman of strategy. Did you hear me? You are allowed to love people and set a price. Who is this freeing? You are allowed to teach, coach, and serve and get paid for the oil that costs you everything. Are y'all hearing that? You are allowed to do those things. So lean in and let's start doing it. Now, here is a boss blueprint activation just for you. Let me leave you with your activation assignment for this week. I want you to write down 3 things. 1, 2, 3. Father, Son, Holy Spirit. I want you to write down 3 things you're already doing for free that become paid offers. 3 things. Then I want you to take one. I want you to choose one, right? And turn it into a $27 to a $97 offer, right? And then commit to launching that thing in the next 14 days. Who can do that? Again, your assignment. You are going to, this is your boss activation assignment for this week. Write down 3 things that you've been doing for free that can become an offer. You're going to choose one of the 3 things, and then you're going to turn it into a $27 to a $97 offer. And then from there, you're going to commit to launching it in the next 2 weeks. In the next 2 weeks. Not 3 weeks, not 4 weeks, not 5, 2. And then here's the deal. Here's what I want you to know. I don't come here just to say blah, 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 and want. I am here to serve you, okay? If you need help organize the pieces, that's where the Boss Academy comes in. Yes, we have a Boss Academy. And if you all don't know what Boss is, and y'all can see my shirt, I'm actually wearing it. Boss stands for Bad Audacious Women Serving with Excellence. You are bosses. And we have in Girl Organize That Life within the community, we have what's called the Boss Academy. We have a 30-day catalyst course. From our 30-day catalyst course to our 90-day Hectic to Harmony intensive, I help women like you to turn chaos into clarity and to turn ideas into income. Okay. So what I want you to do, I want you to visit www.girlorganizethatlife.com, girlorganizethatlife.com, and let's commit to putting a call together. You can have a 15-minute clarity call with me. And if we got to do a 30-minute call, because we want to talk about some things on a deeper level, please go to that link and book with me. And let's take this thing higher. Let's absolutely take it higher. Now, listen to me, sis. You've carried vision long enough. Okay. Now it's time to birth results. Like, really. The more you sit on it, the more people you're leaving behind. And you continue to leave these people behind. You have to know that that's just, it's just a tragedy. And I want you to stop doing that. It's time to birth results. You don't need more validation. You already know who you are. Okay. You need movement. You need movement. You need structure. You need strategy. And you need to remember that the answer you've been praying for might just be sitting in your own hand. Hence the title of this episode. What's sitting in your hand? That sitting in your hand, that idea that's sitting in you, you can now turn the idea into income. But hear me, you can turn the idea into income by leaving impact. And the more impact you leave, the income is going to absolutely be a byproduct of that. You have to remember that. And I want you all to remember this too. You are not just enough. You are what's in my framework. I'm enough. I am ENOGH. That is my 8-step framework. If you join my Boss Academy, we'll go deeper into what that means. You are enough. And no matter how loud this world gets, I want you to remember to pivot with poise despite the noise. If you love what we're giving you, please share with others, leave us a comment, visit us on our socials. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram. Okay, come visit with us. Like and share with other people, and have other people to go to our website, girlorganizedthatlife.com. Meanwhile, until next time, pivot with poise despite the noise, and we'll see you next week for another great episode. Bye-bye for now.
Coach L3.